Y'all, the world's fall off has genuinely been the most insane thing. Like 2019, the world was amazing. Everything was great. Everything felt wonderful. But then all of a sudden, 2020 came around, COVID hit, and the world just hasn't recovered. And today I'm going to be speaking in more of the sense of like stores, shopping, like corporal symbolism. I'm going to be talking about like that kind of stuff. If y'all want me to make a part two to like go more in depth of like the other aspects of the world fall off, I'll do that in another episode. But this is the really thing that really hurts me. I don't know why. It just does. So I'm just gonna go on a little rant. So yeah. So let's kind of break down kind of my guess of what happened. So pretty much a lot of this is also like 2021 were like the like final couple years of my childhood that and they kind of got taken away from COVID. So this is definitely a big reason, but it's clear I'm not the only one that feels that way, and it's like a whole age range of people who also agree. So while it definitely made it worse that I kind of started to become not an adult, but like kind of grew out of my childhood within those years, it just made it 10 times worse for me. But so pretty much started 2019 ends, 2020 gets started, and right away we get hit with COVID. And what this kind of really caused, in my opinion, was people to be more lazy. And this kind of led for being able to, these already grown companies, DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Amazon, and like all online shopping and grocery getting services kind of take over. At first, like for those 2 years where COVID was really a thing where everybody had to wear a mask, everybody had to do this and that. At the time, that was valid. Like, I'm not leaving my house. Like, that was a good time. But after that, people really just did not start going to stores. Really after that. Like, people stayed online and, went to like, people stay online, kept with Amazon. But Amazon's a discussion for later in this video or another video, because they're a big issue. They're a big reason for this. But, we'll get into that later or another episode. Just depends. I'm just kind of doing these. I'm just going to start a ranting series on this channel because I love ranting. And that's why, like, if things seem a bit, like, if info gets scattered and whatever, that's why. Because I'm just ranting. Just whatever comes on my mind comes out my mouth. So let's actually go back a bit further, because that's where the world really started to decline. But it was really, like, even, like, 2018, 2019 was pretty bad. 2017, too. Because we lost a lot of big stores that, at first, like, there was only a couple where, like, oh, dang, and the rest we really didn't care about. But now, everybody misses these stores, because they were full of life. They had so much character. Those stores being Toys R Us, Kmart, Sears, and all those big department stores that we've kind of lost, or not department stores, but like the big box stores. We lost a lot of them over that. Like, so that was just kind of the precursor of like the start of the downfall. But then 2019 things start to recover. Things, I feel like, just kind of start to get back to normal. We didn't really, I don't think, at least off the top of my head, I don't think we lost anything too major in 2019. So things were like, oh yeah, things are gonna be great. And then things just decline again with COVID and, the monopoly of Amazon. If people don't think Amazon is a monopoly, then y'all are wrong. Amazon has a huge issue. And we need more people to look at this, because they're monopolized pretty much online shopping, IRL shopping now too. Like, they're the main reason for all the big stores that are going out of business. They're the main reason of it, because people are too lazy to get out of their houses and actually enjoy the experience of going to the store. I like Amazon, I think it's good, but I think they've just gone too far, and it's not really Amazon's fault. I would say they're just taking advantage of what's given to them. It's just more of the people sort of being lazy. So that's one big side of it. Another big side of it though is just corporal symbolism. Like every single like store, Target, Walmart, Kroger, Meijer, all of those big stores, even the small stores, had life in them. You know, everything had character to it. Everything had life, and things just kind of went on a decline. You know, now everything's so simple. There's really no fun in anything. And it's not even just the stores doing this, it's all companies. They're symbolizing their logos, Fanta, Coke. I don't think Lay's has done it, but Mountain Dew. It's mainly the drink. It's mainly the drink companies for some reason, but Pringles. I don't know. I think I already said Pringles, but yeah, a lot of companies have just simplified their logos, and also stores have too. And it's just taken the fun and character out of everything. And I just, I'm not a big fan of it. And it's just. Sorry, my mind went blank. That's how sometimes I go on these rants, and these are gonna be mostly unedited. Besides me adding like background videos and stuff, so it's just not a blank screen or just images. But yeah, so there's that really side of it. And then like we've lost even more stores. Malls are declining. That's another thing. Malls are declining. So all those like small mall stores that really only reside in malls, they're dying. FYE, all those. So they're really declining too. A lot of it's just because Amazon's kind of just taken over, and pretty much anything you could get out of those stores, you can just get online. And, there's nothing wrong with that, like, because it's handy. But, just the experience of going into a store, in my opinion, is a bit better than just online shopping. And, it's just, in my opinion, not fun. It's just gonna continue to decline, continues to go downhill, and there's probably gonna be a point, maybe in like within the next. It's definitely not gonna happen like suddenly. At least I hope not. But definitely, if like people don't try to stop the monopoly of like Amazon and like online shopping, then within maybe the next 30 years, maybe a bit longer, maybe a bit shorter, we could lose stores like Walmart and Target eventually, maybe. Or they'll just go all online too and close all their box stores. And then all of a sudden there's no physical place to buy stuff at. It's all on Amazon, because that'll put all the small businesses out of business. That's gonna do all that. I said at the beginning I was just gonna focus on the corporal side of things and like stuff like that, but I realized that I should probably mention other stuff that's kind of made the world decline and fall off. Another thing is the like memes have died tremendously, especially ever since I would say 2023 is really where things started to fall off with Skibbity Toilet and stuff. It's just all this brain rots taking over memes, and they're just not funny no more. Like, they don't make any sense. Like, memes aren't supposed to make much sense, but these ones just feel like they're killing my brain cells to look at. Hence the name brain rot. Like it's just AI slop, which is another big part of the world decline. Gosh dang, I'm forgetting a lot of stuff here. But yeah, what happened to like, what's 9 plus 10, 21? What happened to those kind of memes, bro? Memes are actually funny. And I know when we were little kids, we watched some crazy stuff that just never made sense. But I feel like this is even worse. Like, I don't even see me, like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-year-old me watching this kind of stuff that little kids watch now. Tung 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 Sao and whatever the heck Skibbity Toilet is, all that stuff. I don't even see how I would watch that stuff when I was young. And yeah. So that gets me into kind of like the AI side of things. Artificial intelligence. Like, they've been another big thing. It's another thing that I feel like needs to be stopped before it's too late, which it already is kind of too late, as it's making really realistic videos now, Sora AI stuff, and everything on that kind of spectrum of things, too. And, like, it's killed the character of other stuff as corporations are now using it, which is also another thing that's brought into corporal symbolism as they're now to make stuff that isn't quote unquote simple. They're using AI to make their stuff, which just like yeah, it isn't like what they're doing like symbolism wise, but it's killed like stuff on like the lines of like the feeling of like human feeling, like human made feeling and stuff. Like Walmart has been selling I feel like Walmart, Hobby Lobby are the big two ones who've been really milking stuff out of this AI stuff. And it's just all slop in my opinion. Everything AI is just slop in my opinion. Like I understand like the thing was AI was supposed to be made. Like it was a great idea to be able to help humans do stuff on computers and such that we couldn't do in real life. Or we couldn't possibly do or we haven't figured out yet. But no, people started getting even lazier. A big thing about this is laziness. But it just became a thing where people just start using AI for everything, relying on AI for everything. Corporations using AI so they can cheapen up things and cut workers, which is just not cool. You know, because the job, like there's so many jobs that have been lost to AI. And there's just more to come. Like in the future, that really the only jobs that are going to be is like working in like to help fix AI and robotic stuff, which even that AI might even take over that, you know, and then humans are just going to be put to the side, and you know, it's just depressing. I just don't know what to say. If you guys want me to go more in depth into these different segments, because there's a whole lot of segments in this, you know, there's corporal simplification, death of like the internet, like things just aren't the same no more, AI slop, everything else along the lines of that. If you guys want me to go into in depth more of those topics alone, I'll gladly do so. Just let me know down in the comments below. And thank you guys for listening to my rant if you guys made it this far. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.